Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Bristol Sport TV. Well, lots to get through this week, and where else could we start but than with rugby? What a fantastic night it was here at Ashton Gate last Friday when Bristol Rugby confirmed their return to the top flight, back in the Premiership at their first attempt. Here in front of a packed crowd, they ran in 9 tries to hammer Doncaster and spark celebrations that lasted long into the night. What a fantastic night it was, and it was followed up with Monday's announcement that the club would rebrand ahead of their return to the top flight as the Bristol Bears.
When we got relegated from the Premiership, I sat with Mark Tainton in the press conference, and I made the statement that I didn't realise that Bristol Rugby was a time warp. We were very old-fashioned. We were going about our business in a very old-fashioned way. We weren't really looking to the future, and we got caught out. We didn't compete that season particularly well. We failed badly, really, in the Premiership, and I don't want that to happen again. And I felt that we needed a fresh start. And I think now's the time to do it. We've had a very good season in the Championship. We're ready for the Premiership, and we go in as the Bristol Bears, and we go in fighting.
And when I arrived here, I showed everybody the last 10 years of results, and I asked them, well, what do you think? Every single person said change needs to happen, and not change just for the sake of change, but change to make us head towards where we want to get towards our vision.
The boys have a week off this week, but will be back in action for the final time this season when they take on Hartpury on the 28th of April away. It's also their end of season awards that evening, held here at Ashton Gate. Tickets are still available. Just contact the events team on events@ashtongate.co.uk to find out more. Well, on to football, and as the ground staff team ensure that it is in pitch perfect condition ahead of this weekend's fixture against Hull, it was a great weekend for a couple of the players at the EFL Awards that were held in London. Well, Bobby Reid was named in the EFL Team of the Year, a fantastic achievement and one thoroughly deserved.
Really, I'm buzzing to be in the Team of the Year. I think the hard work's kind of paying off for me. I've worked hard and I've had to be patient. And it's coming off for me, and I want to thank everyone that voted for me, as well as the players around me that's made me the player I am today.
And Joe Bryan won the PFA Player in the Community Award in recognition of all his good work.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a massive part of our job. I think it's good for not just for me, but for the club as a whole. We're sort of getting recognised as a club that does a lot in the community. The community trust is getting a lot of publicity, and obviously the Children's Hospice as well. I'm in a privileged position in that I can help people out when they have a little bit of a crisis. Chris is back running now, so it's nice to see. I'm going to go and do a sort of physio session with him when he's back to full fitness with our physio, and little things like that. I just think it's nice to help people out,
Well, you can see Joe and the rest of the squad in action, of course, this weekend against Hull as they push for the playoff places. Just head to the website to buy your ticket. Well, Lauren Hemp has also been shortlisted for an award with the PFA 2018 Young Player of the Year award.
Well, I'm delighted to have been nominated for Young Player of the Year, especially from the peers from other clubs. Obviously it's shown that my hard work's paying off. What I've been putting in throughout the season is finally being shown to everyone.
Best of luck to her. Of course, her and Jazz Matthews were in action in the middle of the week when they took on Liverpool at the Stoke Gifford Stadium on Wednesday. Well, it was a strong Liverpool side that proved too much for the Vixens in the end as they missed out on bagging any points. They travel up to Sunderland on Saturday.
I didn't feel like the game really reflected our performance. I think the first half and second half were different games, but I think we worked hard and we really tried till the end, so I can't fault our performance.
Well, there was a great midweek fixture for the Bristol Flyers at the SGS Wise Arena as they look to bounce back from their defeat against the Cheshire Phoenix at the weekend. And so they did. They were victorious against the Sheffield Sharks 79-76 as they beat them in the final seconds of the game and confirm strong hopes for the playoff places. Well, it was the last game in charge for Nick Burns as Coach K returns from the Commonwealth Games to take his place back at the helm. It also means that they'll be back to full strength with Daniel Adozi and Mike Vigor both flying back from Australia. And it is all about the playoff places. A win this weekend will confirm their spot in the final 8. They take on Worcester Wolves at home on Saturday and then a trip to Surrey Scorchers on Sunday. Well, there are just a few tickets still available for Saturday's game with a tip-off of 7:30 against Worcester. Make sure you head to the website to secure your seat. And a warm welcome back to Dan, Mike and Coach K back from the Commonwealth Games. Well, I'm sure so many people are aware of England ladies netball team winning the gold at those Commonwealth Games. And netball, not a sport that we often feature here on Bristol Sport TV, but this week we can, showcasing our Bristol Sport Foundation's Walking Netball programme, which had a visit from the Department Culture, Media and Sport and Sport England in the week.
So I've come down here today with colleagues from DCMS. Obviously this is one of the key projects that Bristol Sport Foundation are delivering on out in the community. We're really interested to see the impact that it's having out on the ground with some of the communities that traditionally it's been harder for us to reach, and some of the people that might not traditionally be active, so it's great to be here.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed the show. Best of luck to all of our clubs and let's have a great weekend of Bristol Sport.